Hi, Judge Andrew Napolitano here, and you are on Freedom Watch with my guest this week and good friend, former President Obama State Department spokesperson, Marie Harf. Marie, always a pleasure. Welcome here.
I'm happy to be here.
As we speak, there is no clear outcome in the race to replace Congressman Murphy in Pennsylvania's 18th district, but it does appear as though the Democrat is far enough ahead so that he can claim victory.
Yep.
Let's say he does win after the dust settles. How big a deal is this?
Well, this is a big deal. This is a district that went for President Trump by 20 points, and in just a year and a half, under 2 years, there's been a plus 20 swing in favor of the Democrats. And it's not just this district. That's a trend we've seen in all of the special elections. Even where Democrats haven't won, the vote has shifted in most places in double digits away from Republicans. And you've heard Republican congresspeople coming out today and saying this should be a wake-up call to our party going into November.
Do the Democrats believe that this is a reflection of the president's personality and style? I can think of two races where he went all out and physically showed up. And that's Roy Moore against Doug Jones in Alabama. We know the outcome of that one. And now this race we're talking about, we can see the likely outcome of this one. So does he narrow the margin between Republican and Democrat? Or does he bring Democrats, does he generate the will of Democrats to come out and vote?
Well, he definitely fires Democrats up to come out and vote. I mean, there's enthusiasm among Democrats. We've seen that across the country. And there's a third race. In the primary in Alabama, Donald Trump endorsed Luther Strange, went down there, campaigned for him. So Donald Trump's popularity hasn't translated into electoral victories for candidates he supports. It just hasn't. So he has definitely galvanized Democrats to show up, to raise money. And I think a lot of Republican candidates today are thinking about whether or not they want the president to come campaign for them. A lot of them, I don't think, will ask him to come visit.
Are Republican incumbents in the House of Representatives thinking about giving up the ghost if they are in close districts or districts that Donald Trump lost, districts that are traditionally Democrats, close to retirement anyway? Stated differently, will this pry loose some wavering Republican incumbents and make those open seats?
Probably. I would expect that to happen. We've already seen dozens of Republican incumbents say they're not running again. I think this will probably lead to more people saying they're not running again. Every indicator we have shows there will be a Democratic wave this November. Those could all be wrong. They were all wrong in 2016, if you remember, as I do. But every poll, every number from the president's popularity to the generic congressional ballot to these special elections, they all show the Democrats are going to pick up big, and Republicans should be nervous today.
If the Democrats do take the House, will there be a significant battle to determine the Speaker, or will it be a cakewalk for Mrs. Pelosi?
You know, I have predicted that if Democrats take the House, Nancy Pelosi will not be the Speaker.
She's your best fundraiser in all the land right now, isn't she?
Well, you know what's been interesting, Judge, this cycle? There have been a number of other Democrats, from Joe Crowley, who's in leadership already, Seth Moulton, who's raising money for veteran candidates that served in the military like he did. There are other Democrats stepping up to raise money, and the candidates they're supporting will not owe their allegiance to Nancy Pelosi. I will predict, and this is unpopular among people in my party, some of them, but I will predict if we take the House, she will not be the Speaker. You will see a younger, new voice challenge her and win.
Is the Tim Ryan, Conor Lamb, Irish Catholic pro-life Democrat, which is what Democrats were when I was a kid, the new model, the new national model for the Democratic Party, as opposed to a liberal ideologue from San Francisco?
Well, nationally, I think heading into 2020, you're going to see a fight in the party for who emerges, whether it's the Elizabeth Warren or someone like Conor Lamb. But in the midterms, I think what Democrats have done well is picked candidates who are very specific to the districts. Conor Lamb is who he is. He is a more conservative Democrat. He's great for his district. He's representative of its voters. And we as a party need to embrace Democrats who, yes, some of whom are pro-life, some of whom are pro-gun. We need to have room in our party for all those kinds of Democrats. It's going to be a fight, candidly, in 2020 to see which part of the party emerges. I would argue for the Conor Lamb more inclusive part of the party, but we'll see if I win on that one.
You know, you're a lot younger than I am, and we're colleagues, but I can remember a time when the Democratic National Convention was held in Philadelphia, and the Irish Catholic pro-life, pro-gun Democratic governor of Pennsylvania, Bob Casey, the father of the present Senator Robert Casey, was barred by Bill and Hillary from speaking at that convention. I guess you're telling me that will not happen again today.
Well, I hope it doesn't. And look, Bill Clinton, though, interestingly, wasn't that liberal. On many things, he was actually quite moderate. But I think you will see Democrats stepping up and saying we need to represent people all across the country. Certainly, we have certain issues we run on. But look, in this cycle, we have people like Joe Manchin, who is up for re-election, Heidi Heitkamp, John Tester. These are people that are important voices in the party. Even someone like Joe Biden is not, I mean, he's liberal, certainly, but he's not Elizabeth Warren. So I think you're going to see this fight continue in the party.
Marie, see you here next week. Always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Sounds great. Happy to do it.
From New York, defending freedom whenever they let me, Judge Andrew Napolitano. See you next time, America.